Okay, everyone, good evening. Good evening, good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Just can I get a one in the chat if we can hear me? Awesome. So everyone, good evening. I am so happy to be here with each and every one of you, that we are here. Thank you guys. Thank you for that. I'm so happy to be here with each and every one of you to have this amazing session. And I truly could not be more excited. We are here tonight with Lady G. She is our financial professional queen. She knows things in and out, and she makes everything happen. Lady G was born and raised in Staten Island, New York. She has 26 amazing years of experience in business administration and management. And after working in the corporate setting on Wall Street for 11 years, the Lord has steered her life into entrepreneurship. She has been a serial entrepreneur for 16 years and still counting, guys. Serial entrepreneurship is the goal. After many business ventures, Lady G is a believer in multiple streams of income. Just to name a few, she's a licensed financial professional, which has brought us here tonight. She's assisting people within the communities with wealth creation strategies for both individual and business needs. One of her passions is educating on the importance of life insurance. You will always hear Lady G say, I don't know who told the lie, but GoFundMe is not the funeral expense account. And that is so true of her. In addition, she is the owner of Smith Funeral Consulting. Her mission is to provide comfort and relief from the often overwhelming details involved in arranging a funeral, coordinating services with the funeral home, writing up. I'm really low now. Hold on. I'm really low. I'm good. You can hear me? Awesome. All right. In addition, she is the owner of Smith Funeral Consulting. Her mission is to provide comfort and relief from the often overwhelming details involved in arranging a funeral, coordinating services with a funeral home, writing up an obituary, and preparing the repast and planning a memorial service. If you'd like to know more about that, you can go to www.smithconsultings.com. She is also the owner of Lady G's Executive Support, providing project management and remote administrative support to busy professionals and clergy across the globe. You can visit that service at www.daexecutivesupport.com. Lady G loves the Lord. She loves doing the impossible to show with God all things are possible. So guys, I hope you are all locked and loaded. You are prepared for an amazing night that will set you on a different trajectory and help you learn so many things. If you are excited and you are ready for this, let me get some ones in the chat, guys. Let me get some ones. Yes, I see them coming through. Thank you, Madalena, Giandra, Amber, Daryl, everyone, thank you. Let's get ready. Let's go. It's going to be a night to remember. Everyone help me with welcoming Lady G. I know you can't unmute right now, but guys, just give her some love. Drop some hearts and some fire emojis in the chat because we are in for a night.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I am Lady G, your licensed financial professional, and making sure that you are getting your needs met. Assisting you with all your retirement and insurance needs. I am here today, and I'm not logged in, so hopefully y'all can see my screen. Who is that? Can someone tell me, Amber or
Yes.
Leslie? Awesome, awesome. So I am here today to share my knowledge and expertise on various products. I'm here to provide some valuable insights and information, show you how to invest like the wealthy and generate tax-free income. Now, everyone may know about insurance, they may know about term, they may know about whole. I'm going to touch a little bit more on IULs today, which is Index Universal Life Policies. What I'm hoping you'll learn today is an alternative way to save money. I'll say it again, to save money. How to grow your money using gains in the financial markets while at the same time protecting that same money from market losses, including from market crashes. I want you to also know how to make your money last for a long time and be used as a stream of supplemental income that can last practically for a lifetime if built correctly. I want you to know how to protect yourself from sudden bankruptcy or financial disasters due to sudden financial burdens that arise from unpredictable life events and traumas. We all know, if we've learned nothing in the past 3 years, life happens and it can happen unexpectedly. I want you tonight to learn an alternative way to save for, as well as position yourself for some of the biggest expenses that typically confront families, such as college tuition, weddings, mortgage down payments, emergencies, or just plain home improvements. You know, when the refrigerator goes and you had more month than money. We want to put you in a better place. I also want to show you how you can instantly tap into a 6 to 7 figure net worth. I want to show you how to invest like a pro on Wall Street without having to deal with all the complications that comes with managing a stock portfolio, or without having to invest ridiculous amounts of time studying the markets yourself, or even without having the pressure of choosing the perfect financial advisor or firm to manage your money. I want you to learn how to leave the ultimate legacy for yourself and your loved ones. Or someone might choose to leave that legacy for a good cause. You may have your heart's desire on advancing cancer research or homelessness. You can do that too, while at the same time ensuring that your passing doesn't cast an unnecessary burden on anyone else. I want you to learn how to generate tax-free income for life, as in that supplemental income stream you can turn on during retirement or even before retirement, and have it last for as long, as many years as you want, or for the rest of your life if you want. What you will learn today is how to pass on money, how to protect money, how to invest money, how to grow money, how to create tax-free money, how to save money. So as we go on, and I know I can be long-winded, that's why I have my mods. They will stop me when there's questions in the chat. But feel free to drop questions in the chat. I need to make sure you don't leave here with questions unanswered. And we will try to get to as many questions as we can. All right. So
we actually want them to drop the questions in the Q&A.
Absolutely. Thank you for the correction. So yes, we do not want you to. We don't want you to bombard the chat with the questions. It's hard to keep track of. So please use the Q&A button to drop your questions and we will get them answered. So those that know me know I am a believer that full-time entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but part-time should be. As was already stated, I have been a serial entrepreneur now for over 16 years. And these past 16 years, I have started 7 different streams of income. Why have I started 7 streams? Because I believe you should look at your life as a tabletop. And if your life is the tabletop and you're working only a 9 to 5, you only have one leg. When that leg breaks, you're going down. Ask somebody during COVID. If you have multiple legs, that may be you know how to cook, you know how to do hair, you know how to educate on insurance. If one leg breaks, you may wobble, but you will not fall. Proverbs 13:22 says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That verse is intended to keep your life goals, your vision, your legacy front and center when choosing how to use our money today. There are other sound, simple, and savvy ways to save, grow, and protect your money. In addition to those typical saving plans like the 401ks, the TSPs, the 403bs, the Roth IRAs, the 529 plans. The difference between unsuccessful and successful people can be explained in various ways, but there are some common characteristics. One is you gotta have mindset. Successful people tend to have a growth mindset, which means they view failures and setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, may have a fixed mindset, that their abilities and intelligence are predetermined and cannot be improved. Number 2, goal setting. Successful people set clear, specific goals for themselves, and they create a plan to achieve them. Unsuccessful people may have vague or unrealistic goals, or may not set any goals at all. Number 3, and I sure hope y'all are writing this down because the replay will be available, but at a cost today. So number 3, persistence. Successful people persevere through challenges and obstacles, even when it's tough. Unsuccessful people may give up easily or become discouraged when faced with difficulties. Number 4, time management. Successful people prioritize their time and their focus on what's most important to achieve their goals. Unsuccessful people may waste time on unproductive activities or get sidetracked by distractions. Number 5, adaptability. Successful people are flexible and adaptable, willing to change their approach or strategy when things aren't working. Unsuccessful people may be resistant to change or stuck in their ways. Number 6, the last one, learning. Successful people are constantly learning and growing, seeking out new knowledge and skills to improve themselves. Unsuccessful people may be complacent or resistant to learning new things. So overall, the difference between successful and unsuccessful people often comes down to mindset, goals, persistence. I'll say that again. Mindset, goals, persistence, time management, adaptability, and a willingness to learn and grow. When we think about how life comes knocking, at the end of the day, we don't want no one left behind. It is still amazing to me that depending on who you ask, middle America is 95% or 99%, depending on who you ask. I say, let's change our mindset so that we can get to the other side. It's amazing to me that middle American can be that one that won the big jackpot in the lotto, but didn't know how to manage their money, and it was gone before they blinked. There is a such thing as an old plan versus a new plan, which many people don't know. And it should be known that things have evolved. I often say we once carried a beeper. I don't know anyone that carries beepers no more, but it was good for its time. But time has evolved. Changes have come about. Get off the old train and get on the new one. If you keep doing the same things, you're not going to get different results. So whether you're about to retire or just retired, whether you recently married or you've been married for years, you're a millennial, you're a Generation Z, Generation X, or a baby boomer, and you're wondering what are the best ways to save money. You might be one that just has a lot of cash on hand. You may have high income. You might have term insurance. You may be currently employed and allocate money to either a 401k, a 529 plan, a TSP, or an IRA every paycheck. You may be looking for a simple solution to retirement planning. You may have a family, or you may be planning on having a family. If you want to know how the rich have been saving money and creating wealth for decades, that's why you're here tonight. Even if you have a financial advisor, because some will be unhappy that they would get to manage less of your money in the future just because you're here. So I want to ask you 4 questions. 1, what account do you have right now that bypasses probate? 2, what account do you have right now that grows tax-free? 3, what account do you have that replaces your income if you could not work due to an illness? And number 4, what account do you have for your kids to go to college and not be penalized? I'm going to share with you the principles that successful Americans consider first before they put their money anywhere. Their first rule is make money, but never lose money. You want to know what their second rule is? Not to forget rule number 1. It is the most important rule of money. Who came up with that rule? The great Warren Buffett. Rule number 3. In other words, don't pay a manager to manage your money. Number 4, your money has to grow at a rate higher than 3%. Inflation, last I checked, is 6.4%. Your money needs to grow at a rate higher than 6.4%, or get close to it. You have the right to build your wealth using the most tax-efficient method, which includes paying in 0 taxes, which you're legally allowed to pay. Flexibility, access to your money whenever you need it, however you need it, without paying penalties. Number 7, compound interest. We're just going to talk about that a little more in the presentation. How much will you pay in Social Security? The cause of why people lose their homes today, The number one cause of people filing for bankruptcy and becoming broke is because they became critically or chronically ill. We're going to pass away one day. And I need you to think about this for a second. I don't know why people are scared to talk about it, because we're all going at one time. You just don't know the day or the hour. But we work so hard putting our money in savings away so that someday when we're not here, our families will take what was left behind and continue on. But this is what happens. If you have a healthcare provider called a nurse, she's going to make a phone call if someone was to pass away in the hospital or whatever. And she's going to make a call, whether she knows why she's making the call. It'll be to an 800 number or a local number to report time of death and your Social Security number. Every account that you have to your name with a Social Security number attached will be frozen. No money in, no money out. And it takes at least 2 months to 3 years for the courts to sit and see how much your estate in the state you owe. We've talked about James Brown being over, 15 years? That money comes out of your money. So ask yourself, do you have an estate? Yes, you do. When you're alive, it's called bills. When you're dead, it's an estate. I'm not talking about real estate. There's a difference between real estate and estate. Your money is sitting in one of these buckets, or someone might be having it sit under their pillow. Let's talk about 1 through 11, the ones you have control of. Number 12 is controlled by the government. Number 13 is controlled by your employer. Uninterrupted growth. What accounts do you have that you're making money and never losing money? A check mark means it's passing the test of never losing money. Paying a manager. What accounts do you not have to pay a manager to manage your money? If you're paying a manager 2% a year for 20 years, how much money you keeping from your pockets? If inflation is 3%, again, we're at 6.4, your money has to be growing more than that to keep up with expenses. Otherwise, you're losing money. Think about the banks. They will take your money and put it in money-making accounts. But when you put money to take money out, you get nothing but maybe a measly less than 1% interest. Someone told me yesterday, day before, she made a penny. This is serious. Go see how much interest you've made on your bank accounts. If you're with a credit union, it's a point or two more. I ain't even saying a point or two because someone told me they ain't even making 3%. The difference between financial portfolios where you pay taxes and those where you do not pay taxes primarily lies in how the investments are taxed. In a taxable portfolio, you are required to pay taxes on the income and the capital gains generated by your investments. For example, if you hold stocks that pay dividends, you will need to pay taxes on those dividends when they are paid to you. Similarly, if you sell a stock for a profit, you will need to pay capital gain taxes on the gain. These taxes can reduce the overall return on your investment. In contrast, a tax-deferred portfolio or a tax-free portfolio allows you to defer or avoid taxes on your investments. For example, in a tax-deferred retirement account like a traditional IRA or 401k, you can contribute pre-tax dollars and the money grows tax-free until you withdraw it in your retirement. At that point, you will pay taxes on the withdrawals as ordinary income. In a tax-free account, such as a Roth IRA or a municipal bond fund, you contribute after-tax dollars, but the money grows tax-free and you can withdraw it tax-free as well. The benefits of a tax-deferred or tax-free portfolio are that you can potentially earn higher returns due to the power of compound interest, as the taxes you would have paid are reinvested and continues to grow. If you are in a higher tax bracket now than you expect to be in retirement, a tax-deferred account can help you lower your tax bill. However, these accounts often have restrictions on when and how you can withdraw the money. And there may be penalties for early withdrawals. If you take from that 401k prior to 59 and a half, you will be penalized. You're giving away what you already said was free money because your company was matching you. You can protect your 401k by moving it into an account, an annuity, where it is protected from the downfalls of the market and takes only the positive gains. So the key difference between taxable and tax advantage portfolios is how the investments are taxed. While taxable portfolios require you to pay taxes on your investment income and gains, tax-deferred and tax-free portfolios allow you to defer or avoid taxes, potentially resulting in what? Higher returns and lower tax bills. There are several types of financial portfolio accounts that you can have liquidity, access to cash whenever you want it, meaning that you can easily withdraw your money when you need it. Here are some of the most common ones. You might have a checking account. A checking account is a basic bank account that allows you to deposit and withdraw money whenever you want it. You can typically access your funds using a debit card, a check account, or online banking, or even withdraw it cash from the ATM. Same savings account, same thing. Money market accounts is a type of savings account that typically offers higher interest rates than a regular savings account. But you typically can access your funds using an online banking or bank branch and withdraw cash from ATMs. CDs, another type of savings account that requires you to deposit money for a fixed term. And that can range from a few months to several years. You typically can earn a higher interest rate than a regular savings account, but you cannot withdraw your money without paying a penalty until the CD matures. Retirement accounts, again, such as the 401ks, the IRAs, is a tax advantage investment account that is designed to help you save for retirement. Y'all know my spiel. If you're going to save for retirement, it should be there when I retire. But if you take that money prior to 59 and a half, what the market doesn't eat up, you're penalized. You're paying taxes and penalties. So it is important to note what type of account you have, what restrictions, what penalties are involved when wanting to withdraw your money before a certain time or age. So you need to know the terms and conditions of each account before making any withdrawals. Simple interest and compound interest. Albert Einstein has that amazing quote, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. What does it mean? Simple interest and compound interest are two different ways of calculating interest on a loan or an investment. Simple interest is calculated on the principal amount only. That is principal times rate times time. So where the principal is the initial amount of money, the rate is the interest rate, and the time is the length of the time the money is borrowed or invested. So for example, if you look at this chart, if you was to invest $100,000 at a simple interest rate of say 10% for 3 years, you would take 100,000 times 10% times 3 years. That will give you what? 30,000. So the total amount you would have at the end of the 3 years would be 130,000. Compound interest, on the other hand, is calculated on both the principal amount and the accumulated interest. So you would take the principal times the rate, the time, minus the principal. So for example, if you invest 100,000 at a compound interest rate of 10% for 3 years, the interest you've earned is 33,000. You now have $133,000 in your account. If you look at this slide, as you can see, compound interest yields a higher return than simple interest because it takes into account the effect of compounding over time. So with compound interest, the interest earned in each period is added to the principal, and the interest is then calculated on the new higher balance. That can lead to significant growth in your investment over time. You gotta see that. What accounts are you getting that uninterrupted compound interest? Fixed index annuities, life insurance has a check mark. I'm just saying. What accounts affect your Social Security at retirement? There's only 2 things with check marks. I'm just saying. What do I mean? A lot of people do not know that at retirement, your Social Security income can be affected. How is it going to be affected, Lady G? If you say you're single, that's other taxpayers. So you in the center. You can be single or you could be married and you just ain't filing jointly with your significant other. If you make $25,000 or less, you don't have to worry. Your Social Security income is tax-free. If you make more than $25,000 to $34,000, up to 50% of your Social Security income is taxable. So that $1,800 check you thought you was getting will now be cut in half to $900. Go even further, make more than $34,000. Up to 85% of your Social Security income is taxable. So for the young lady that came to me telling me she just retired and is looking for a job, why is she looking for a job? Because she didn't have a plan B. And her Social Security and pension check is not enough to cover her expenses. So now she has to find another job. And I'm a math person. I love numbers. If you're telling me, let's just say she was getting an $1,800 check from Social Security. So now you're going to find a job that's going to put you over, let's just say more than 25,000. Now, that $1,800 is now cut to maybe $900. So you couldn't already afford to live on the $1,800 plus whatever you was getting on pension. Now it's being deducted by $900 because you went and found a job. So you mean to tell me now you got to sit there and find a job to make the $900 back that you lost on top of going beyond that to get income to be able to live? My tombstone will say I went of natural causes. It's not going to be because I worked to the grave. And y'all look at this government. They trying to make you do just that. The retirement age now, what, 72? By the time most of these generations are retiring, it's going to be in the 80s. We work into the grave, so we're not creating our own retirement buckets, especially if you're entrepreneurs. We're not having a savings account that's not in a Chase or Citibank making less than 1% interest. We're not doing that, but we're going to work to the grave. What accounts will cover you if life happens? When the medications are too expensive, the care that you need depletes all your checking, your savings, you done cashed out the 401k. What are you going to stand on? There is a big difference between living benefits and disability insurance. Not so much of a big difference, but to me, a big difference. Living benefits and disability insurance are both designed to provide financial protection in the event that you become unable to work due to an illness or an injury, but they differ in important ways. Disability insurance is a type of insurance policy that provides income replacement in the event that you become unable to work due to you messed up your knee, a disabling illness or injury. Disability insurance can cover both short-term and long-term disabilities. And the policyholder, you or anyone else, can receive a percentage of your income up to a certain amount for a specific period of time. Living benefits, on the other hand, refer to a set of benefits that are often included in life insurance policies, but it can also be offered as standalone policies. Living benefits provide financial assistance to you who become seriously ill or injured and you're unable to work. Like, you know about that person that you know that's on the machine right now, unable to work. But there's a family that's dependent on their income that they was making. So those benefits in living benefits can include accelerated death benefits, critical illness benefits, long-term care benefits. Accelerated death benefits allows you to receive a portion of the face amount. I say now face amount because I'm trying to get with the times, because y'all just hate to hear death benefit. While you are still alive. Someone could be diagnosed with a terminal illness. Terminal illness, Ryder, they get complete access. One phone call, God forbid, doctor said less than 12 months to live, cut me a check. They can send you a check up to 100% of the death benefit or face amount. It's $1 million policy. That's a check for $1 million. Live your best life. Critical illness benefits. It provides a lump sum payment if someone is diagnosed with a serious illness, such as cancer, heart attack, stroke. It provides long-term care benefits, providing financial assistance to you who require long-term care due to a chronic illness or disability. So disability insurance provides income replacement if you become disabled or unable to work, while living benefits provide financial assistance if you become seriously ill or injured or unable to work. Again,
Lady D,
Go
Um,
ahead.
Really quickly, I think it may be a good time for a couple of poll questions that we haven't done just yet.
Yes.
So I'm going to launch these, just two of them right now. Give you guys a couple of moments to respond, and then we'll get back to the session.
Very good. And y'all respond quickly. We're going to give you 2 minutes. Gives me a chance to breathe.
The difference between simple interest and compound interest, which is awesome. Now back to you,
Awesome.
Lady G.
Thank you. Thank you. So, critical illness riders, if God forbid, again, life comes knocking at the door, and knocking hard and without notice, someone we all know somebody has a heart attack, stroke, cancer, dialysis, ALS, blindness, Parkinson's. That person can have access to up to 90% of their face amount. If it's $1 million policy, that's $900,000. What am I talking about? I'm talking about income protection. I'm talking about when life comes knocking at your door and the doctor put the diagnosis on someone's head and said, you can no longer go to your 9 to 5 because you have to do this treatment or that treatment. And you said, okay. And with your next breath, called the insurance company and said, drop me a check, $20,000 a month or whatever amount. I have bills to pay while I heal. I believe, this is just Lady G, I believe the graveyard is full of people that didn't need to be there. It's not because the illness took them out, but the stress did. Stress kills. The stress of not being able to make that mortgage payment or putting food on the table for the kids. Chronic illness. When you can't do 2 of the 6 daily activities a day, you can't feed yourself, dress yourself, bathe yourself, go to the bathroom, get in the bed, or have control of your bowels and bladder. I often say my father was a commercial for why I do what I do. He was a barber my entire life. And come on, y'all, let's be real. And if we have anyone that's a barber, nail tech, or what else is there, hairdressers, handyman, that cash was going into his pocket and not reflected on a tax return. He had a stroke after being in a coma for weeks, and the Lord had mercy on him, brought him out. He was able to walk, but the speech was slurred, and he had lost feeling on one side of his body. He was residing in a nursing home full time because at that time I was working on Wall Street, unable to care for him. After many years, he took a fall in the nursing home and had to have a half hip replacement. After the surgery, he was never mobile again. He couldn't do all 6 of the daily activities of the day, things that we take for granted. I will ask again, what accounts do you have that gives you that type of income protection if life comes knocking at your door? Because Lord knows we never know how hard it's going to knock. I'm talking about when it knocked, you've exhausted the checking accounts, the savings account, you cashed out the 401ks, and you wasn't even 59 and a half. So you got hit with those early penalty withdrawals, and poof, more of your money gone on top of taxes. Do you know that critical and chronic illnesses are the #1 cause of poverty today? I'm going to ask, before I go to the next slide, Amber, can we launch the poll question about probate?
Yes, ma'am. Give me just a moment here.
You guys, I want you to answer this before I go to the next slide. I need to know where people are. Well, there's only 3 things that avoid probate, and that is life insurance, annuities, index annuities, and a trust. All these other accounts that you may be holding financially, does not avoid probate. Now, I understand that there's been information given. Well, if I have a beneficiary listed on my account, I'm good. Well, just the way I feel like y'all living saying there ain't no Jesus, I'd hate to see you find out you was wrong. When you have a beneficiary on your accounts, what it is saying is, remember before I said when someone leaves here, a nurse picks up the phone, and when she gives your social security number, every one of your accounts have been frozen. If it has a beneficiary, that's the person they know that when it comes out of probate, if there's anything left when it comes out of probate, who will get it? Probate is expensive. Probate is long. We have I've been saying this a lot, and I understand why it's just us, but we are being held up in probate because we don't have our stuff in order. A trust is important. You have houses, a trust is important. You want to leave it to your family, your kids when you're gone, a trust is important. You have life insurance policies, and you saying, well, I got this thing to grow, not just for burial, so I want to leave it to my kids. You don't know if your kids gonna be I'm trying to find a nice word, but they may not be on the path that you want them to be. And they can destroy everything that you worked hard for, but put that baby in a trust with some rules. Baby girl can't get this but this amount if she gets this grades. Baby boy can't get this amount unless he go to college. Baby boy met baby girl can't touch this money. My baby boy a trust fund baby. He comes with rules and regulations. They got LITs, life insurance trust. If you want to build a bigger trust. You don't have to be rich and wealthy and have 1,000 houses on the hill. You just got to have your stuff in order, because it's us that they're preying on, because the judge is getting paid, the lawyer's getting paid. Oh, we got to extend this another week. Oh, we got to extend this another month. Where do you think the money's coming from? That little money that you had in an account that you thought, oh, I'm going to leave this behind. They can get this. Oh, I don't need life insurance because, I got money in the bank account. They can use that. Did you hear when I said it'll be frozen? And the last I heard, I'm a funeral consultant too. I'm telling you, if the funeral director holds that body until it come out of probate, that's going to be some kind of holding.
Lady G, I have a brief story about that. I have a friend who comes from a family of money. The father passed away, leaving behind millions. Everything went into probate for years because there was no proper trust, no annuity in place, or life insurance. I think the life insurance that he did have paid out, but his wife wanted to sell the house and move. She could not because it was caught up in probate. She wanted to sell one of the cars. She could not because it was caught up in probate. And again, that lasted for years.
Amazing. And there's many testimonies about that. And those are not good testimonies. So we need to get our stuff in order. If everything that we've talked about thus far, the one thing across the board that has saved us is life insurance. So it's amazing to me nobody wants to talk about it, but yet it is the first thing someone asks for when someone leaves here, because it's the first thing you ask for, because you scared the next question that someone's going to ask you is to contribute to the funeral expenses or the GoFundMe. I don't know who told the lie, but GoFundMe is not the funeral expense account. Listen, if I was to ask you, which way would you want your money to grow? And just look. You got fixed, you got variable, you have index. Those are all terms commonly used to describe different types of financial instruments. It can be savings accounts, bonds, mutual funds. These terms refer to how your interest or the returns on your investments are calculated and paid out over time. Fixed Investments typically offer a guaranteed rate of return over a set period of time, such as your whole life, such as your CDs, such as your bonds. The rate of return is fixed at the time of the investment, and it does not change regardless of market conditions. This can be a good option if you want a predictable return and you are willing to sacrifice potential gains in exchange for a lower level of risk. Variable investments, on the other hand, like your VULs, your 401ks, your IRAs, offer returns that are tied to the performance of underlying assets in the investment. It could be a mutual fund. You may invest in a portfolio of stocks and bonds, and the return on your investment will depend on how well those assets performed. That type of investment can offer higher potential return, but it also comes with higher risk and volatility. Index investments are a type of variable investment that track the performance of a specific market index, such as the S&P 500. The return on your investment is linked to the performance of whatever index you choose, and it can provide a diversified portfolio without the need to pick individual stocks. This type of investment offers the potential for higher returns than fixed investments, but it can still come with some level of risk if you don't do what you're supposed to do, and if the market don't do what it's supposed to do. But you don't take negative losses from the market. We just don't want the market to be in the negative for too long. So to sum it up, fixed investments offer a guaranteed rate of return with low risk. Variable investments offer potentially higher returns, but come with higher risk. And index investments are a type of variable investment that track the performance of a market index, but does not take the negative losses of the market. So your choice of investment will depend on your personal risk tolerance and your investment goals. If we was to look at this real quick, this is an old graph that I pulled because time was not on my side. But if you look at this, I had pulled this from one of my old presentations. And when I had showed it during that presentation, I was showing what the 20 plus year look back looked like. So if you was to compare it to someone that says, like we did earlier with the 100 grand, but let's say you had 250 grand in a mutual fund or a 401k or an IRA, and you had 250 grand in an IUL. If you look at the 250,000 that was placed in the 401k, both being tied to the, say the S&P 500. S&P 500 had some hits, right? There was some hits. Like last Friday, the Friday before last, it was on the news. There was some hits. So if y'all ain't checked your 401k, check it and then get on my calendar so you can move that thing. But I digress. You see the hits. You also see the IULs didn't take no hits because it cannot take negative losses. So the person that has money in a 401k is taking losses while someone in an IUL is not. But at the end of the day, it's the bottom line for me. So with the S&P or a 401k or IRA, whatever you picked, at the end of the day, if you go and look at what you made after the 20 plus years, your tax, let's say 25% interest. So you paid on your money about 116 grand in taxes, leaving you with about 348 grand. So you made about a little less than about 98,000. When that same money in an IUL growing compound interest, not taking the negative losses of the market, is every time the market was in the negative, they made a floor. What's a floor, Lady G? The floor is saying whenever the market is in the negative, I don't lose money, but okay, one company gives me a floor 0.75%. Another company might give me a floor 0. The whole point of the matter is I ain't getting the loss of 12.13 or 24.67. So if this company was giving me a floor 0.75%, that means while everybody was over there losing money, I at least made 0.75%. Go back to 2008. People lost 43, almost 44% of their money when the market crashed. The only people that didn't lose money was those that had it in index accounts. So if you had an index annuity or an IUL, you was in top shape. It was better to make 0.75 or 0% than to lose 43% of your retirement money. The thing about IULs is they come with fees attached to the back of it. I said this morning. If I don't care, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me, y'all remind me to go back to that point. I'm gonna stay on track. In the IUL, that same amount of money that was placed in there, how much did they make at the same rate as the one with the 401k? While one in 401k had about $348,000 after paying taxes. I mean, yeah, where the person in the IUL made 1.4 million. Because as Albert Einstein says, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. An IUL is like your 3-in-1 solution. You got your family bank strategy, you got your living benefits, you have, it even comes with funeral prep services. So if your family's so distraught and don't know how to handle or arrange a funeral, it will do it for you for free. There's a company that they have, but it gives you that protection for emergency funds, the retirement, college fund, savings. It's 7 protections: family, health, business, home, against market loss, against the IRS, against inflation, against creditors and predators. So in most states, if you file for bankruptcy, they can touch everything else, but they can't touch that. In most states, if someone files a lawsuit against you, they can touch all your accounts, but they can't touch that. That is your financial pocket knife, giving you protection and giving you savings. Let me tell you something that's amazing to me. They say if you want to hide something, put it in a book. Stop the curse and go pick up a book. Get off of Google. Go pick up a book. Money, wealth, and life insurance is one that you can get. You can go get The Power of Zero. You can go get the Stress-Free Retirement. You can get the, what is this? The Retirement Miracle, or you could pick one of these on the screen. If I kept pulling out books, I'll be here forever. Read how they have been using insurance forever to create wealth so that they can retire with ease, so that they can leave a legacy behind. So that when the time for retirement, I can actually retire. In fact, I can retire myself early because I'm an entrepreneur. You entrepreneurs out there, get protected. There's no 401k waiting for you. Create yours. Create your personal pension plan. If you don't create it, you will be lost in the shuffle and working and working and working. And I don't think we want to do that. This was another one I pulled from an old presentation because time wasn't on my side, but it was an example from one of the clients. What does this stuff look like? In that, the interest that they made at that time within that year was about $416,000. And I think on this one, they were making an average of like 4 to 8%. This is what you can potentially be looking at when you create your own retirement. Send your children, create an account so that your children don't have to worry about if they're going to have to pay student loans to go to college. If you start this early enough, and I mean early, like 15 days old, You can make sure that your children don't have to go. Listen here, this is Lady G. I ain't telling you what to do. If you have a 529, just like I said earlier, I once had a beeper. Find me someone that has a beeper now. It had its time and it had its place. There is nothing wrong with a 529. Lady G's not saying there's nothing wrong with a 529. I'm just saying that there's something else better. We have evolved. Because that 529, if your baby, especially depending when you got that 529, your baby decide to go, college ain't for me, and decide, no, I don't want to do it. And you be like, but I saved all this money for you to go to college. You know, it even earned a little interest. Well, you don't want to go to college, that's fine. I'll go fly around the world with this money. When you on your way to the airport, drop a check in the mail to the IRS, because you will be paying taxes on every dollar you spend for everything other than the intended purpose, and that was to send that child to college. Or if you have children. If they decide to go outside of the state, penalize. So I just say, we have evolved. Put that money in at a bucket where there ain't no restrictions. And if my child decide to go to college or not, shucks, if they decide not to go to college, here, start this for your business. You ain't going to the bank. They said you ain't got no credit and my credit's jacked up, but I started something for you so long ago. Another example, interest credited about $7,100 during that time on $1 million policy. So you really want to, I challenge you. I would like you to show me a financial instrument that you currently have that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that I will not lose my money, have tax-free growth and distributions, tax-free withdrawals, tax-free loans, the ability to take an interest, like I said, free, avoid probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees my family that my income will be replaced should I die or when I do, helps me protect myself financially against chronic, critical, terminal illness, and of course, allows me to take money out at any time for any reason, at any age without penalty. Oh, and by the way, maybe someone would just invest $200. You thinking you got to be rich and wealthy. You can do it with $200. What? Why wouldn't $200 get me? This is what I said in one of my classes. $200. If you have two people, one person got 200, another person has 200. You put $200. That person puts person A puts $200 in a 401k. Another person B, puts $200 in an IUL. Well, guess what? If something happens to customer A the next day, all they have that they left behind is $200, and less than that because taxes will be paid and deducted. But person B that put the 200 in an IUL, that created a 5 to 6 figure net worth. So if it was $1 million, y'all know $1 million is my favorite number. So if I put $200 on a $1 million policy, that's a 7 net worth. Something happened to somebody leaves here the next day. My family just got $1 million and all I put in was $200. We got to change our thinking. We really have to change our thinking. I already approached this with the 529s. Yeah, it's not even much more to discuss, tax deferred growth. The 529s ain't giving you no living benefits. 529s is not giving you use for the funds for whatever you want it for. It's not giving you a tax-free death benefit. It's not giving you tax-free retirement income, and it's not giving you no disability waiver. So people have used the ability to take money for whatever they need done. You got one that wanted to fix up the house. He took out a $100,000 loan from his policy. Listen, people have been doing it forever. you can get retirement checks from your policy. That one book that I just showed you, Money, Wealth, and Life Insurance, it has a chapter in there where it shows you where all the big companies like AT&T, Pfizer, Disney, Walmart, they all have life insurance assets. Banks have billions of dollars of life insurance assets. And I forgot to put that slide up. What's his name? Oh my goodness. I can't think of his name, but he's a billionaire, but he has nothing but assets in life insurance. In fact, that was number one of what he invested in. And my mind is all over the place. But yeah. So Bank of America, $19.6 billion at one point. Wells Fargo, $17.7 billion in life insurance assets. JP Morgan Chase, $10.3 billion. They're obviously doing some. And it's funny, in the book, it says banks are in the business of making money. They have some of the greatest minds in the world, including economists, attorneys, accountants, financial analysis, and other advisors, helping them to increase their efficiency and use of their capital. It is not insignificant that banks place billions of dollars in life insurance. It is a reflection of the value they place on this powerful asset. If they're doing it, why don't you get in and do it? Go get The Bank Strategy. It's another great read. Again, if you're one that's saving $400 a month, and again, math, you save $400 a month in that bank that you make in less than 1% interest or under your mattress, whichever one you're choosing. For 40 years, you'd make $192,000. Invest that $400 per month for 40 years. Compound interest will get you $2.3 million. Investing is the key to building wealth, not saving. There's another slide here that I took from one of those books, the 401k. If you look at the fees, the more you make in your 401k, the more your financial advisor gets. They get paid whether you make money or not. And let me make it clear, there's a difference between financial professional and financial advisor. I wish I could say that I'm making money whether you make money or not. And I wish I could say I'm making more money if you make more money. I cannot as a financial professional. But a financial advisor, you are paying to manage your money. So don't get it twisted. You're paying them to manage your money, but your accounts already have fees attached to it. Just to note that. When you think about the fees in a whole life insurance policy, and this was a page out of a book, it was decreasing over time as it was making more over time. And I wish I would have put a slide to compare the fees for the IULs, because in the fees at the IULs, the way we try to set it up, and it has to be built correctly, that the fees are lower in the beginning of the policy and may get wider at the end. Why is it getting wider at the end, people? My numbers, people? Because you're making more money. Would you want it to be depleted in the beginning when you're just now starting? Make it make sense. You need to know the different types of insurance policies out there. Life insurance is a type of financial protection that provides a lump sum payment to your loved ones in the event of your death. While many people think of life insurance as a necessity for young families, it is also important for midlifers. Why is it important for midlifers? One, financial obligations. Many midlifers have financial obligations to y'all, such as mortgages, car loans, children's education expenses. If something were to happen to the primary breadwinner The loss of income could make it difficult for the family to meet those obligations. You know, that man that told you you didn't have to want for a thing. He told you ain't even got to work a job. I ain't never had a man tell me that, but I heard that's what they tell you. But then when something happens to him, where does that leave you? Life insurance can provide a financial safety net for the family, ensuring that they can continue to meet their financial obligations. That mortgage can continue to get paid. I ain't got to move out the house to move in like sardines with my 3 children in a 1-bedroom or a studio, because inflation's so high I can't afford otherwise. Retirement savings. Midlifers may have built up a significant retirement savings that they want to protect for their spouse or their children. Life insurance can help ensure that those savings are not depleted if the primary earner passes away prematurely. Estate planning. Life insurance can also be a useful tool in estate planning. It can provide liquidity to the estate to pay the estate taxes or other expenses, ensuring that assets are not forced to be sold off to cover these costs. Age and health. As we age, the cost of life insurance generally increases. Therefore, midlifers may find that they can lock in lower premiums now than if they wait until they're older. As we age, our health may decline, God forbid. But this could make it more difficult or expensive to obtain life insurance coverage. Peace of mind. Having life insurance can provide peace of mind for midlifers, knowing that their loved ones will be financially protected in the event of their death can be a source of comfort and security. So midlifers should consider getting life insurance to protect their loved ones and ensure that their financial obligations and savings are secure. And it is important to consult with your financial professional or whomever you choose to determine the appropriate amount of coverage and the type of policy that best meets your need. I'm going to stop real quick right there, and I'm going to ask Amber if she would put up the poll for number 3, group insurance.
All right, the poll question is up. Is group insurance from your job enough? Yes or no?
Once again, guys, if the poll did not auto-populate for you, go to the 3 dots that says more. Go down to the option that says polls and tap that and get your answer in. Your voice matters, so let us hear it.
I'll give it maybe another minute here. Or 30 seconds.
That's all I get to breathe. All right.
We came here to see the magic you make. I'm so sorry. Got to work.
Well, it looks like we have 19 out of 26 has responded. I'm going to end the poll. And 95% of you said no, that is correct.
Very good. The teacher is proud. So group insurance is what your job gives you, and it is typically you either don't have to pay nothing or maybe just a few dollars. It is typically for full or part-time employees, but when the coverage will end when typically you leave your job, whether you quit, get fired, or retire, and in some cases, if you don't even die while on the clock. And I say that because I have the commercial. Y'all know I'm known for my commercials. The man that left his job, got in his car, but did not make it home. And when his wife went to make the arrangements and called the job about the insurance, they said he wasn't covered with us. She said, what are you talking about? He's been employed with you for such and such amount of time. She said, yeah, but he clocked off for the day. He was not covered by this policy. So if you don't even die while sitting at your desk, that sometimes that policy will not pay out. There is no benefit to you while you are alive in a group insurance policy from your job. You can't pull not $1 out of it if the dishwasher goes. In fact, only 0.9% of group insurance policies actually pay out. It's very deceptive. It is not considered traditional life insurance. So be very clear that if you have group insurance on your job, you should be reaching out to get on my calendar to get yourself a quote. Because my mama say, if it's free, you get what you pay for. So yeah.
Lady, do we have a question?
Go ahead.
We have a question asking which policy is the best one for the purpose of doing the IULs, investments, and all that you talked about today.
The IUL. You would choose between the IUL or whole life. And I would know which one is right for you, because the IUL is the only one that's going to give you compound interest. Whole life will give you fixed. So you got to know where your risk tolerance is. And I'm gonna try and map it out a little better for you, but you're gonna have to get on the calendar to get a more one-on-one, because this is educational purposes only. Everyone may not qualify for an IUL. We want to make sure that that's the right one for you. So hopefully that answered that. Term insurance. Y'all know when y'all sitting on the couch with the remote control in hand and y'all see the commercial $5.99 and y'all call the 1-800 number, give me that $500,000. Yeah, it most likely you got term insurance. It's cheap. It's popular on the TVs. You walk in the bank, you auto, whatever. When you purchase term insurance, whether it's for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and I'm well aware of a company now doing 35, when that 10, 15, 20, 30, or 35 is up, you no longer have insurance. Not because they gave you your walking papers, but because you won't want to give it up. Because if you were paying $80 a month, you will now be paying $800 and up. It will continue to inflate up. We had another commercial, someone come and share their policy where they didn't believe me. Nobody believes Lady G. Went and looked at his paperwork, called me up, said, Lady G, what I'm looking at can't be real. What you looking at? It's saying that when my 20-year term is up, I'm going to be paying $2,000 and plus, and then $4,000, $6,000, $10,000. And then had the nerve to say, is that legal? Yeah, it's legal. It's a term policy. It was not meant to be permanent. It is only paid upon your passing to your beneficiary. It is not beneficial to you while you're living, unless you happen to get it with living benefits. And we already spoke of how those living benefits work. The premiums, as I said, will skyrocket when it's up. So you will let it go. So now you'll be 10, 15, 20, 30 years older looking for a policy. And two things is going to happen. Either one, you're going to pay a 10, 15, 20, 30 year more in age, or you may be diagnosed with something that will disqualify you all to get together and make you uninsurable. It's like renting a home instead of buying it. Only 2% of term policies actually pays out. That means that people are either outliving or they are going on trips and forgetting to pay their bills. Because if you miss a payment on a term policy, I say this all the time, you went to St. Martin having a grand old time on that beach, but did not put your term policy payment in the mail. When you come back, you may not have a policy. If you know someone that had a term policy and is in the hospital on a machine and no one is managing their bills back home, and unfortunately they leave here, and then the family's like, oh, we're at ease because they had a policy. And then they go to call the policy in, come to find out it was a term, and come to find out a payment was due 3 days ago. No payout. So unless you're not like me, who is very forgetful, you will make sure that your payment is always put in for that term policy. It is very, very important. Whole life insurance. Okay. It is It's traditional whole life, no cash value. If there's a difference between someone putting $7 a month and someone putting $700. $7 a month, remember, it's fixed. So if they earn in pennies, they earn in pennies compared to someone that might be earning dollars over there, and that's 700. So the premiums will remain the same. You do not have to worry. It is more expensive than term. Why? It's permanent. Term isn't. And I like to say it like this: if you have a traditional whole life policy, say it's $100,000, and you had $1,000 in cash, and you took the $1,000 out as a loan, there's no such thing as withdrawal, as a loan. If you do not pay the loan back, and you don't have to, when you leave here, your beneficiary will get $99,000, not $100,000. If you have $100,000 policy whole life, and there's $1,000 sitting there, and you never touch the $1,000, when you leave here, your beneficiary is getting $100,000, not $101,000. That's how traditional whole life works, and that's all it is to it. The IUL, it has many benefits. We went over a lot of it through almost this whole presentation. The one thing is, everybody can get in. You don't have to be in the best of health, but you can't have major health issues. So you either can get in, and it'll be at a sliding scale that you may be paying a higher cost for it than someone that is healthy. So you got to get in where you fit in. I want to quickly show you what an IUL looks like. Let's go this way. This is $1 million one, right? So I ran $1 million one just to show you what it looks like. This would be, I think I ran it for someone that was 35, a female, healthy. And they would be paying themselves about $735 a month, coming out to about, if I wanted to round it up to $800 a month, that's like $200 a week. And I say these men out here probably spend that if they're taking girls out on 2 dates a week, $100 a piece, whatever. Now, with the IUL, you do not want to hit MEC, MEC, Modified Endowment Contract. It means that if I tell you this person can only put in $57,402.23, please don't go putting in $57,403, because you will now turn this tax-free growth account into a MEC, Modified Endowment Contract, where you will now be paying knock, IRS is at your door, pay me taxes on every dollar over. But if you stay in the perimeter of what I say, and you place anywhere from the $735 a month, which comes out to about $8,800 a year, up until you might get a tax return refund, you might get a bonus at work, you may get just have some money that making less than 1% of interest over there at Chase, Will, and Citibank, and all those others, and want to put it in to have the chance to make more. You can only put up to that amount. Now, that's for the first 7 years. After the 7 years, all cards is off. You can put as much as you want. If you're going to drop $185,000 in there, you can go drop it in there, one single premium. You don't have to have no worries. So with this person, let's see, they're putting in the bare minimum. That's $735. Putting in the bare minimum, what that does is just give you your 7-figure net growth, your net income. So you are paying to have that $1 million. So God forbid something happens tomorrow, that $1 million is paying it out. You didn't even put a second payment to it. So with that said, though, the cash growth is not, let's go back. There's no cash. So let me break it down like this. Anything in the cumulative premium is cash that you paid yourself. I need you to get your entrepreneurship hats on. This is not like whole life. We ain't comparing the two. This is apples to oranges. This is a whole nother animal. This is life insurance policy on steroids when used correctly and built correctly. Cumulative premium is what you have paid yourself after each year, and it totals up as the years go on. So it would be if you paid yourself $8,820 last year, and paid yourself that same amount this year. Now you got $17,000, and so on and so on. Anything in the policy value is where the compound interest is going to accrue. Anything in the cash surrender value is cash that is readily available for you to take and do as you please for whatever reason. They ain't asking you what you need the money for. They ain't asking you none of that. They asking you one question. How do you want it? Withdrawal or loan? This is Lady G. I ain't telling nobody what to do. But if you say you're 45 and you got 58,000 in there and you need 20,000 and you take it as a withdrawal, you will then have 38,000 left. Would you have rather your compound interest work on the 58,000 or the 38,000? I'm a math person. I would think the 58,000, but this is Lady G. I ain't telling nobody what to do. If you want your 20,000, take it as a loan. This is how people mess up this account. You're busy taking withdrawals, depleting your cash cow. Take the 20,000 as a loan that you don't have to pay back, but it will come from the face amount. So if it's $1 million policy, it's deducted from there, bringing the million down to 980,000, while your cash is still sitting there at 58,000, growing by compound interest. So you took a loan, let's say you took it at 2% rate, and let's just say on average, maybe you made 8% on the cash sitting there. Even though you can make up to, if you go conservative, you can make up to 13%, or you go uncapped. You can, if the market go 25, 33%, you can go uncapped like that. But let's just say it's average 8%. So I took 20,000 at a 2% interest rate. My cash is still sitting there, and I made an average this year, maybe 8%. So, and y'all know I like to do math. So let's get the calculator. So if I took 20,000 out at a 2% rate, that means I'm paying $400 in interest a year on that money. The 58,000 is still sitting there growing compound interest. So if average that year, it was a, whatever market, let's say that 58,000 at, say, an 8% rate, I made 4,640. Well, since I made 4,640, let me minus the 400 that I would have personally had to put in to cover the interest on my loan, the loan that I don't have to pay back. So I literally got $20,000 and minus that from my profits on the cash. So I walked away really with 4,240 because I just let them pay for the interest I would have had to pay on the loan. Okay, I hope y'all got that. You can get income from this, whether it be retirement or whatever. And I don't think I ran this to show retirement. I didn't, but you can get it. So you could say at 75, there's about $1 million here in cash. Their face amount is about 1.8 million at age 75, but they have $1 million in cash to do whatever they want. You can set it up if you wanted to just get a measly 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. If you are one who knows that they want to retire early, but want to be able to get the same amount that they're getting now as employed, then you need to work with your financial professional to say, listen, I'd like to bring home 50 grand a year, or for 100 grand a year. Then I would work those numbers, or the financial professional, whoever it is, will work those numbers or should work those numbers to tell you what you need to put in so that you can get access to that. We need to get out of this right now spirit that we spend everything that we get instead of thinking about down the line. Because now we're making money, we spend the money, not thinking that when we retire, we'll be making less money, and now we have no money. So this is what it goes with. Now, this policy would cover this person till 121 years old. At 121 years old, this is where Mr. Arthur Jones would come in and say, baby, that in a trust would be a great wealth creation tool. 121, that thing is now worth 14 million in cash. That check cut into the trust to fund generations to come. That's when you leave a legacy. That's how you leave a legacy. So hopefully you got something out of it. I am going to stop right there. I am going to ask Amber to post the last polls, and we're going to go in this particular order. We're going to do the life insurance one first.
Okay,
And you can
the
actually,
current poll is, I'm sorry.
and then you can do the others right after. We'll wrap it
Okay.
up.
The current question is, do you have life insurance? And again, people, please answer these questions very truthfully. We cannot see what you're saying. We don't really care what you're saying, but we care that you're learning something from this. And if you don't have life insurance, you have people you can talk to get your things in order. Okay, majority of you at 75% have answered, well, 64%. 75% of you do have life insurance. That is awesome. The 25% of you, give one of us a call. And the 75% that also do have it, give us a call as well so we can maybe see if there are any changes that are necessary.
Very
Do you have
good.
a preference for the next one?
I don't. You could just let it flow.
Okay, we will launch. This poll question is, did you learn anything new from this webinar? Oh, I want to see only yes answered on this one. 15 of 25 people have answered. Give it a few more seconds. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. All 16 answered yes, so that is awesome. Next poll question has been launched, which is, would you like to schedule a consultation ASAP? And again, answer this truthfully. And Daryl Lane, I see your responses in the Q&A, so thank you for that. I'll give this about 10 more seconds. We have 13 responses so far.
Can everyone find the poll again? I'm going to ask that just in case people can't. Can everyone find the poll again? If you cannot find the poll, please comment. I will walk you through it. Remember, it is the 3 dots that say more. If it didn't auto pop up for you, tap it and press poll. Once it says poll, you just select and you answer truthfully, because we know.
So for this poll, I'm going to end it now. 16 have answered. 10 of you would like to schedule a consultation. That is awesome. You should see our contact information and know who it is that invited you to this to reach out, and we can discuss further.
That's right. And if it was Lady G, you can go to meetladyg.com. There's a button there that says book with your financial professional, and you can get on the calendar right then and there. And I'll also actually post the direct link in the chat right now.
All right. Poll question, would you like to join the team and become your own boss? And again, answer this truthfully, and however you answer, if you say yes, again, you know who you can reach out to for any of us that are on the team to point you in the right direction and guide you. We'd love to have you on board to educate the masses. We will stop burying our loved ones with GoFundMe and fish fries.
No, I heard it's not only fish fries, it's car washes. It's quite a few things.
Selling
Oh my God, are
t-shirts,
these
honey,
chocolate?
TV.
You said what?
People be selling bootleg CDs and T-shirts. Listen, we're not doing that.
The chocolate boxes for the basketball team. They got tactics out here. Don't you dare tell them.
Okay, so 64%, 7 of you said yes. So for those 7, again, you know who to reach out to. And if you don't know who to reach out to, just pick one of us. We're always here to help. And last but not least,
if you are looking, let me say real quickly, if you're looking to join the team, I need you to text right now the number that I'm going to throw in the chat, 732-860-4693, and I need you to say team. So the first link in the chat is if you need to get on Lady G's calendar. Whoever invited you, you should be getting on their calendar. So if you were here for Amber by her invite, Aja, you need to get Markeisha, you need to get on their calendar so that they can follow up with you. If you're here by my invite, please go to Meet Lady G and the meetladyg.com, or the link to my direct calendar is in the chat. Also, if you want to join the team, text right now, 732-860-4693 and say team. Leave your name and just say team, okay? And you will be reached out to within the hour.
Okay, I think we're all done with the last poll question. April is Financial Literacy Month. Are you open to hosting an event in your city in person or virtually? We have 4 that said yes, 4 that said no. Of the 4 of you that said yes, again, you have the information to know which one of us, and if not, you pick one to reach out to learn more information as to how you can do so.
And again, for that, open to hosting an event, I need you to text that same number, 732-860-4693, and put Financial Literacy Month and your name. And again, we'll reach out to see which event you'd like to host. We appreciate that because it is, again, April in just a few days. And we want to make Financial Literacy Month more expanded as far as the education when it comes to insurance, how to use it. It's not just a death benefit, even though that's what the foundation of it is, but that it can be used for so many things. Yeah, I could say what you want, but the wealthy just might be putting their money there to hide it because, again, it's tax-free. And if they're covered by bankruptcy and lawsuits and all that. So anybody that I see on the news that was a millionaire, billionaire, talking about they filing for bankruptcy, I kind of don't see downcast eyes, which probably tells me they got their money enough to show that they have something in the banks, but a whole majority in some insurance policies. Y'all say what you want. You want to be like the wealthy, you better do what the wealthy do. This is Lady G. I ain't telling y'all what to do. I'm just giving a little education here. All right, so we have those that want to, and I'm seeing the text come through. Thank you. If you have not, please use these last few minutes. I appreciate every single one of you who joined us today. Did we have any questions that did not get answered? We're good?
There aren't any in the Q&A, but if you guys have questions, please go ahead and type them there.
Yep, no question is too big, no question is too small. That's what we're here for.
That's right. All right. All right. I think we are.
I think you were terribly thorough.
Thank you, Rashida, from Almez's room. I appreciate you. You can reach out to me if you or get on my calendar if you need any assistance.
We're getting questions.
We're
Sorry.
getting questions.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a couple. How long is the
Kosha,
first
sorry,
consultation?
you go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Blessing. Go ahead.
I was gonna do it, but that's your thing. You go ahead. I'm the ad-libber, and you are the structure.
I love my team.
Okay, so Tasha is asking, how long is the first consultation?
I would say book the 60-minute because I don't know how deep your story goes. So I would say book the 60-minute consultation.
Okay, we also have a question here from Pink Paisley asking, after you get licensed, do you have to continue to take classes to keep the license?
Yes, you do. So you'll have to take CE credits every 2 years, which is light work compared to the state exam that you have to do to pass. And if y'all know anyone that's already licensed and they just looking to make a move, maybe they stuck where they are, we are welcoming them also. So have them reach out, or they can text the number 2 to team if they're already licensed. But yeah, you have to do CE credits every 2 years.
And I believe that is it for the questions. There's also information in the chat that shows you how to book an appointment with Lady G, but also this webinar was free, but for today only, you can purchase for $29.95. The replay or after today, it will be $49.95. So keep that in mind if you feel you got some information that will be beneficial to those that you know. You can purchase it today for $29.95. Please remember that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And if you were too nervous to ask your questions in the group, Lady G is always available. You have her contact information here. You can reach out if you want more personalized questions. If you don't have it all together, you think you need to. No, you don't need to. That is Lady G's job. That's the job of whoever invited you here to get it, to help you get right. So you don't need to, don't sit there and be like, I have a 401k and I think I have, and I have, she's here to put you on the right course. So, don't overthink yourself. Don't think yourself out of an opportunity. Don't think yourself out of, those numbers are huge. If you really feel like those numbers that she's over here showing you how to get are huge, then you absolutely need to join the team, because on the team, there is so much growth opportunity and potential. If you were here when I read her, when I gave you her introduction, she has been a serial entrepreneur forever. 16 years, 18 years, something like that. Right? My cat isn't even that old. He's 10 and I'm so proud of myself. But that's still not as long as she's been a serial entrepreneur. And she got there because she has a lot of skills in her arsenal. So it would definitely benefit you if you're like, oh, I want that. I want to leave 14 million behind when I'm 121 years old. And you know what? I've decided that God is my friend and I want to spend time with him. And also when you've decided that this is the point, like for you to get there, you have to put in the work. So this is a twofold opportunity. One, if you have money, or if you have a little bit of money, wherever you are, actually, to grow, to make that money work for you. So you're not the person who had $1,000 or have 10,000. There goes Daryl has a question. Or you have $10,000, because two people can have the same amount of money, the same source of income, and know how to flex that money and work that money. We have strategies for all financial brackets. But also, if you want to get to that financial bracket that it's leaving 14 million behind, where you have your grandchildren and the neighbor, for some reason, the neighbor's kids keep coming over because they're like, you don't have to be related to be a beneficiary on the trust. You want to be that person where everyone's coming over to your house and staring at your water fountain because you have $14 million to leave behind. Then you want to get on the team to increase your income, to increase your earning potential. So it's a multi-pronged plan. Or maybe you're retired and you've got money buku, but you were like my father-in-law and lost $200,000 in the market some years during COVID, and you don't want to be that person anymore. Then you go ahead and you get your index annuities or whatever your professional is recommending to you. So do not limit yourself to your own circumstances, because circumstances are temporary, but this generational wealth is forever.
I love it. I love it.
And Lady G, Daryl Lane has a question asking, what do you have to do to be qualified to become an insurance agent or on the team?
Well, you need to be able to pass a background check. That's number one. As long as you can pass a background check, and you need to pass your state exam. And that's the two major things right there. We'll give you the rest of the steps and walk you through it. And let me say this very quickly. You might be, because I know when I started in the industry, listen, and those that have heard my testimony, this was God. Because when he said insurance, I said, are you out your mind? First of all, I ain't no salesperson, and don't I have enough on my plate? But he told me, he didn't ask me all that, and I guess I had to do what he said do. But he sent me the people. I don't go out looking for them. Yes, I'm holding a lot more rooms now, but literally I just open the room and wait for y'all to come in while I sit here and get work done. But I believe God sends the people that need to hear my voice into my rooms and come in contact with me. So you may also be saying you're not a salesperson. Well, guess what? You don't have to be. What you need to be is a teachable person. You need to be teachable so I can guide you on how to make this thing work. Now, one thing I ain't going to do is find your clients for you, but you can sit there, have your clients and say, Lady G, I got somebody, and you take it as training while I show you how to close your clients. It's as simple as that. All I need you to do is pass a background check, study your study material to pass the state exam, and let's get this thing rolling, because there's souls out here that need to hear your voice. And I got two hands. Amber got two hands. Everyone on my team has two hands, and we covering this entire map. Because again, for the last time tonight, I don't know who told the lie, but GoFundMe is not the funeral expense account. It's embarrassing, and we need to quit. And it's because we did not have our stuff in order. Did that help? Thank you, Madalena. All right. Any more questions? Last call.
I like the little floating laughing face. And really quickly, I know a friend who is 39 years old, has been diagnosed with high blood pressure, and his kidneys are failing. All he has is group insurance and is now deemed uninsurable. Do not let that happen to you. Do not let that happen to your loved ones, your children, nieces, nephews. Get them insured before they have health issues that deem them uninsurable. And yourself as well.
If you have babies, we've been saying it a lot. I believe Keisha is in the room right now. She said, or was it Siobhan? One of y'all, where instead of doing the baby showers, instead of doing all this money on these nice gifts at the baby shower, you've been made a godparent. Do the best gift you could ever do. Get them a daggone policy. And shucks, you want to step it up further, let it be an IUL, growing compound interest. So when they're ready to go to college, they ain't got to worry about how they're going to go. They can buy their first car. They'll be able cash. They'll be able to get their first apartment or move into their own house. Imagine not having to go and put money on a rental, but a property because their parents set them up. So, but my point of starting all that was to say, if you get it from the time they're 15 days old, nobody in this room, and y'all know how close I am to God. Me and him is like this. And not even I know what's going to happen tomorrow or the day after or the year after. These babies are getting diagnosed with autism. That is an uninsurable illness. Get these policies on these babies from when they're 15 days old, because if God forbid, it broke my heart. Everybody knows closest things I love is babies and seniors. It broke my heart to tell two parents I could not put insurance on their 4-year-old child because they were diagnosed with autism. It's uninsurable. Now, had you put it on 15 days old or whenever in between before that diagnosis came, then they could have got something. But once it's on paper, once they taking medications, it's on record, and no insurance company is taking the risk. Get these babies' policies. That's the best gift that you can give them.
Lady D, we have a question from Carlos. What health conditions are considered major for IULs?
Cancer, and not saying that one with cancer can't get it, but they would have to be in remission for, depending on the company. All companies have their different rules. And as you know, I'm independent. I don't work for no insurance company. I have access to them to put you where is best suited for you. And they all make their own rules. So one might say you had to be from your remission date 2 years. Another a company might say 5 years. It depends on what type of cancer it was. But if you currently have cancer, like I had to tell someone, couldn't do nothing for her. She's currently going through chemo, can't do a thing. They will not put a policy on you. Autism off the top of my head, diabetes. Now you can have two people. You can have one with diabetes, controlled, no insulin, get a policy. You can have another person, diabetes, done on insulin, done lost a leg, uninsurable. So don't think because you get on the calendar so we can specifically hear your story to know whether or not you are insurable or uninsurable. Don't take it upon yourself to just think this thing. There was another one we were talking about earlier. Congestive heart failure, uninsurable. Anything to do with the heart, you ain't getting living benefits or a policy. That is the point of insurance. One of the girls on the team that says that all the calls she get is people that hear her talk and then they come to her and they got all these issues. Get the policies before you become uninsurable and have to pay a higher cost of insurance. So hopefully that helped. I see a question mark. Did I not answer? Okay.
I think that you posted a question mark before you were answering. So I think that was just pertaining to the end of his question. Okay. But really quickly, guys, I nearly died at the age of 31. Death is not age specific anymore. And there are people leaving this world younger and younger for many different reasons. So do not wait, do not wait, do not wait.
Absolutely.
I'm 39 now, FYI. So praise him.
Praise God for extended
I'm so
life.
glad you're here because I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met those lovely curls, that beautiful smile, that brilliant mind. I am grateful. So, and everyone in here better be grateful too. Can I get some ones in the chat for Amber being here today? I don't care. Yes, ones in the chat because we're happy Amber is here.
Yes.
Okay. Today heretofore shall be known as we are happy Amber is here today. Yes. Happy Amber is here today. All right. I'm celebrating it.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. I see my mom is 65 and had her leg amputated over 17 years ago due to a hospital malpractice. I believe she's in overall good health. Am I able to still get her a policy? The only chance that I think, and I still think you should get on the calendar, if I don't know who that, I don't recognize the name, but whoever invited you. And before I go further, Amber has put her calendar in the chat, and so has Aja. So if Aja or Amber invited you, please get on their calendar. But Dana, if you came, whoever you came for, get on the calendar. If you came by me, then just get on my calendar. I believe that to answer your question, short answer off the top of my head, she can get a guaranteed final expense because it doesn't ask any health questions. She has to be over 50 to get that.
No, Dana came by me. Actually, Dana is my age. She's my number 3. She helped me hit my 330.
Very good. So Dana, get with Blessing, and Blessing can do a guaranteed final expense for mom. That's with no health questions.
I'm still so happy she was my third, but my 330. Guys, I hit my 330 in a week. That's wild. Like,
Yes,
I just really thought about that the other day. Like, it was a 30-day goal and I hit it in a week. That's insane.
I bragged about you. Yes, I did.
Thank you.
I bragged about you. Yeah, y'all hit congratulations for blessings in the chat. And y'all don't know what 3330 means. That means she's new into the business. And in 1 week, she built her business. She blessed and protected 3 families. And she built her business by bringing 3 people in her business. So she did that thing in 1 week, where they usually give you 30 days. It's a challenge. And she did it in 1 week. She's on fire. She's on fire. She's on fire. I love it.
Do my hair today. I was sitting there. I was like, tell him, bring my iPad. He didn't get there on time. I said, girl, you know what? I like to do random, like, good acts for people. Like, and for some reason, it happens to be her. So I went to her shop, like, a little over a month ago. And, like, I went to her 2 months ago. And I was like, there's things that need to be done in her shop. So I went to her shop and I was like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to clean your AC because it looks wild. I went back and cleaned her AC. She did my hair. Today, I went to get my wig fixed for you today because I was very excited about this. And I went there today and I was like, I didn't get my iPad. I said, I'll be back on, I said, Thursday, you're slow. I'm off on Thursday. I will be here. I will help you clean all your glasses down and wipe down all your countertops and tell you about these IULs because you're going to get insured. Because she has 4 kids that blew up her phone the whole time. They're all getting protected. No one will tell me otherwise.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, listen, this has been great. I think I touched on every question in the chat. We're going to wind it down. But can I ask y'all one more question? Even though this is going to be a replay posted for y'all to purchase, would y'all like to see another webinar on maybe retirement and 401ks and maybe some more information on insurance? Put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you would like to see another webinar. All right, love it. So we'll keep you abreast because, again, April is Financial Literacy Month. And you guys can help. If you did not text me to do a event, you can at least host a virtual one. All you got to do is get your family to come on a Zoom where they can get the same information. That's all we're asking for you to do. Just get a crowd of people that needs this information like you got. Love you all. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, look forward to talking to everyone that's on the calendar, who's getting on the calendar. Thank you to my wonderful, wonderful moderators, Blessing and Amber. I appreciate y'all. Did a great job. I love you. Y'all are the team for life. Again, guys, have a great day on purpose and know the best is yet to come. This Zoom will be closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a good one, everybody.